Good afternoon, folks. Let's do a take two on A. Now we're discussing responsibility when it comes to paying for care. Okay? Whether it's the kids or the surviving spouse. So let's dig into that today for A, please, shall we? Here we go. There isn't a single legal rule that says a spouse must pay while children are exempt. In practice, the person needing care is expected to use their own resources first. A long term spouse often manages or shares finances, and adult children may contribute voluntarily, but they are not automatically legally responsible for funding care. Why families ask this? The question surfaces because caregiving responsibility is tangled in law, money, and mortality. The surrounding page emphasizes that families struggle with fairness. A spouse of a deceased of decades feels like the natural payer, yet adult children may earn more or feel morally compelled to help. Decisions are shaped by who holds assets, what insurance or public benefits exist, and whether the caregiving spouse also needs protection for their own future. Who typically pays? Primary payer, the care recipient's own income, savings, or pension, or Social Security, and long-term care insurance are first in line of payments. Spouse role. Their caregiving spouse usually coordinates finances and planning. Their own health and retirement needs must be factored in, since draining joint assets can leave them vulnerable later. Children's role. Adult children often involuntarily, especially if they have higher incomes or want to share the burden, but the page makes it clear there there is no automatic legal obligation for children to pay. Practical financial options described. Home equity or sale. Families often sell or borrow against a home to cover costs. This can provide immediate funds but reshapes housing and inheritance plans. Insurance and public programs. Long-term care insurance helps if purchased earlier. Medicaid may eventually cover care, but strict eligibility rules and 5-year look back periods apply. Medicare generally does not cover generally does not cover long-term assisted living or custodial care. Timing and planning. If a spouse has a new diagnosis or at high risks, consulting an elder law attorney early is crucial. Proper timing of asset transfers can protect eligibility for Medicaid and safeguard the healthy spouse's future. Uh, who to involve and why. Elder law attorney to explain Medicare rules, coordinate benefits, and advise on asset protection strategies. Licensed insurance agent to clarify what Medicare, Medicare Advantage, or supplemental policies cover and what they don't. Fee only fiduciary financial planner to model realistic contributions from children and spouses and to plan for each person's long-term financial security. hourly Hourly or project based CFPs are recommended for affordability and objectivity. How to approach the family conversation. Ground the talk in facts. Gather details on assets, income, insurance, and the spouse's financial needs before discussing contributions. Protect the caregiving spouse. Ensure the spouse isn't left without resources for their own care. Use professional help. Bringing in a lawyer or planner to reduce conflict and keep discussions focused on realistic options. 'Frame contributions as voluntary and fair. Children may help based on ability, but the conversation should emphasize choice and fairness rather than obligation. Practical next steps. Inventory finances. Collect bank investments, insurance policies, property titles, and benefit information. Consult an elder law attorney. Review Medicaid timing and asset protection strategies. Three, meet as a family with facts in hand. Discuss ability to pay, not just obligation. Document agreements, put any family contribution plan in writing to avoid misunderstandings. If you like, I can explain this into a printable checklist or even draft a conversation script designed to keep family meetings calm, fair, and focused on solutions. Okay, guys, I'll be back on with B in a bit. Give me a little bit for B to put that together for you, and I'll be back on with that for you. For now, Gator Wellness, take care, folks.